Hello, hello. I'm live. It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. Here I am. 3 o'clock on a, what's today's date? Oh goodness, it's Tuesday, right? That's the day. Hello, hello. Nice to see you all. Thank you for joining. There's a stone wall being repaired outside, so if you hear any knocking, not a ghost. They're repairing a stone wall out there. What are you going to do, right? So I hope everyone is doing well. Wow, nice to see you all. Thank you for being here. I am here to talk about my project. I decided, there's so many projects out there. The 100-day project. Anybody participating in the 100-day project? There's the 31-day sketchbook challenge. Oh gosh, I don't even know. There's so many projects like that all throughout the year. They all seem to start at the beginning of the year, but then there's another start of all of those projects at the beginning of seems like a school year or something like that. So I have always wanted to participate in a project like that. I've attempted several times, but life takes over, things happen. What are you going to do? But I had thought long and hard about one day doing my own project like this. And I've done it myself. People join the big project and they post about it on Instagram or whatever. And it's several years back, oh gosh, a long time, maybe even 10 years ago, I did several of those projects. Back then, blogging happened, so I was posting it on my blog, not on Instagram. So I've done those kind of things. Yes, remember blogging? And I haven't done anything like that since then, but I've wanted to. So I have made up my mind and decided to do a project now. And I'm hoping that you will be able to join me in this project. So the project is this. April's coming up, right? Friday, April 1st, Fool's Day, whatever. That's happening very, very soon. And I'm sure most of you know that April 22nd is Earth Day, right? Earth Day recently celebrated their 50th anniversary. Can you believe that? Yeah, 50 years. And I think Earth Day is an amazing thing. I am very happy to have been able to celebrate Earth Day through most of my life. And at first it became like an Earth Week, all sorts of celebrations, right? Now it's more like an Earth Month. And I applaud that because really one day to remember our poor little planet that is under so much stress, we really do need we need to remember it every day. And I think most of us do, but to celebrate it for the whole month, I think that's the way to do it. So to add to the celebration, here's what I would like to do. I want to do a stitch along project for the 30 days of April. So if you are my newsletter subscriber, you got it this morning and perhaps you gave it a read and went over to my web page all about it. But yes, here's what I want to do. I want it to be a completely repurposed project. So I have begun. I know these are a little clear, hard to see. I had a whole bunch of Ziploc bags. Here's some writing on this one. They were well used. I usually tend to use Ziploc bags for storing projects. I mean, food too as much, but not so much. But storing whatever I'm working on, I use a Ziploc bag. And I've used some of these bags for years and years because, they last. They're made to last. They're a great thing. But then at a certain point, they kind of get worn and the zipper part doesn't work anymore. Anyhow, so that's what I did. I cut up the Ziploc bags I had that were past their prime and into these are about 4x5 little pages. And the idea is you need 30 of these. So that's what I did. I made 30 of them. And every day I'm going to stitch something onto them. And the idea is that it has to be repurposed. So I've collected a few things that I might stitch into it. I don't know what I'm going to do exactly yet because, we're not there yet. So this little thing, it came off a bottle cap of some sort, a pretty big bottle cap, probably vitamins. You know, when you pull this off before you can open the bottle cap, this little thing goes straight into the trash, right? So I saved one and another one. That could be useful. An old zip tie that is no longer useful, that goes in the trash, right? That could be stitched on. Oh, here's something fun. You know, these little things, you pull them from inside of a container to open up your milk or whatever else. These are wonderful for that, for this. Here's a bottle cap I picked up off the ground, probably ridden over by a car. Here's some other bottle caps. So all these things are soft plastic. I mean, they're sturdy plastic, but they're also soft plastic. So they can be easily stitched through by hand. You could use an awl to poke holes in it ahead of time, but really, as long as you have a thimble, you don't really need anything else. So the idea is that I would stitch one of these onto one of these. Something like this, obviously, I'm going to stitch on by hand. And I have a ton of little bits and pieces of thread lying around that, like, this was a whole big thing of thread and I used most of it. That's all I have left. I have another one like that. So this will be the perfect project to use up just whatever little bit I have. Here's another little thing that I have just a little bit of. I have like a smattering of things. So that's going to be my goal, is to use all of those up. Like I have, here's a whole bunch of little oddball threads. So that will be my thing. I'm going to try to use up my extra yarns. If there's something that will come across that I can stitch by machine, I intend to do that as well. Let's see, what could it be? It could be like a piece of tape. And of course, I don't have any near me. You know, you use it to tape something off and then you rip it off, you don't need it anymore. Well, maybe there's something funny, there's something interesting on it that you can use for something like this. What else? Oh, the stickers on fruit. You buy fruit at the supermarket, they usually have those stickers on them identifying the fruit. What happens? You peel them off when you get home and you throw them in the trash. Well, you can stick them on to a substrate and stitch around them. And you could probably stitch around them by machine. That's what I will experiment next time I see any of those come across my way. I'm sort of trying to pre-plan a little bit of what I'm going to stitch on, but just a little bit. I want to see what comes across, you know, my table, my work table, as I'm going through life every day. And perhaps it'll be something that I saved from before, or perhaps it's something that just happens that day. So that's the idea. Something that you would throw in the trash, which is this. Is it more than one per day or more? You can do as many as you wish. No real rules except that it's repurposed. I intend to stitch on one or a few more things on only one page. The key is to use one page a day. So if you wanted to stitch on a whole bunch of things onto that one page, totally welcome to. If you want to stitch on only one thing, that is fine as well. But the idea is that it goes on for 30 days. The purpose is to make, first of all, yourself aware of just how much plastic bits and bobs are out there that go into the trash, are completely useless after the first time you use it. And the other purpose is to make everyone around you aware as well. The more we put these things out here, the more visible they become, and the more everyone else is aware of the issue of plastic pollution that we have on our planet. So that's really the key thing, is just to make people aware. That's number one. Number two is to exercise your imagination and make weird and wonderful things with completely weird and obscure and strange things that will otherwise go into the trash. You get to exercise your stitching skills because you would be stitching down something that you wouldn't normally stitch down. If you are an embroiderer or someone who wants to be an embroiderer, you can practice your stitches and get really creative with it, or you can just use the simplest stitches. That's totally fine too. And just concentrate on color. You know, perhaps you want to do as much color as possible or as little color as possible. Either one is totally, totally fine. The key is to have fun, make it fast. Unless you have a lot of time, I wouldn't spend a lot of time on this. I actually have have a lot of things going on right now, so I will not have more than about 10 or 15 minutes to spend on this. So it's going to be fast, fun, and furious. That's the idea here. Let's see. When does it start? It starts on April 1st. April 1st through April 30th. 30 days. Let's see, what else? There were a couple of questions. When does it finish? April 30th. What materials and skills are needed? Really? It's a way to practice your skills. You don't need to start out with a set of skills. If you can thread a needle and hold a needle in your hand, that is it. You're in. There's nothing else to do. You're in. That's all you need to do, is just to figure out how to take a few stitches. So anyone can participate. If you want to do it with your family and get your kids involved, it's actually a really fun way for kids to start stitching. I was just in an elementary school working with kids doing a weaving project. I cannot tell you how many kids don't know how to tie a knot. So this is a great way to do a project with your kid and teach a kid how to tie some knots and put a needle through something. The plastic is a little bit difficult to stitch, but you can choose a piece of fabric. Perhaps you have an old t-shirt that is worn. You can cut that up into 30 little pieces and stitch on that. Fabric is definitely easier to stitch on than plastic. So you can choose something that's very, very easy. Let's see. What happens when you finish? Well, when you finish, I will have several suggestions of how you can put it together into one big artwork. If you do 30 pieces, you can piece them together into like a quilt-like pattern, perhaps, 5 across, 6 down, whatever. Or you can stitch them all together into one long ribbon. Or perhaps you put them together into like a book, like a concertina book, or something like that. So the idea is to do a little bit of work every day on one of these little pieces, and then stitch it all together into one artwork, whatever shape that artwork becomes. By the way, if you want to cut these into circles, cut them into circles. That's totally fine. So that's the idea. I am going to be doing this live every day. I'm going to take my little page, take my little thing, and stitch it live every day. I don't know what time of the day I'm going to do that, because it's going to be whatever time of the day fits into my schedule. I will try to send out sort of a countdown for it if I know that I'm going to be doing it at a specific time, but more likely I'm just gonna pop on and do it whenever I can, because that's what I would love for you to do, is to just do it whenever you can. Whenever you have a few minutes to spare in your day, to do a little stitchy meditation, because sometimes it is meditation. It's a little bit of a brain exercise, because you got to figure out how to stitch down something that you perhaps have never stitched down before. So it's for fun, and it's for awareness, and it's for practicing your stitches or your sewing machine skills, whatever you want it to be, but just a fun little project. I am going to encourage anyone and everyone to share it on social media, in my newsletter, and on my webpage, which I will link to at the end of this. I have a whole bunch of suggestions for hashtags to use. Please tag me at Art by Natalia, so I know that you did it and I can share your work, because that's the whole idea. It's for all of us to share this. Whoever posts and tags me, I will share their work on my stories. And here's something else. I would love to make an online gallery of everyone's work. Whoever participates in this project, I invite you to email me your pieces in progress, whether it's daily or weekly, or if you want to share your artwork at the very end of April when you stitch it all together. I have already started a page on my website that is talking about the project itself now, but eventually I would like that page to become a gallery page for all of our artwork all together. Because what a great resource that would be, right? If everyone could see what you could stitch with and what strange and obscure objects you can stitch into your project. So I think it'll be a great resource. It will be a great knowledge-based kind of thing. It would be great to involve other people. Everyone will be encouraged, and this will be super encouraging to see other people's work. So I would hope that you will join me. I think we could have really a lot of fun with it. Thank you, Anna. It's, no pressure kind of a project. Just a few minutes a day, just a piece of trash. Instead of throwing it in the trash in your garbage bin, you can make a little artwork with it. And what fun. That could be so much fun, right? So I hope that you will join me in this little endeavor. There's a page on my website that's called Earth Month Stitch Along 2022. Maybe it's a little shorter. Maybe it's Earth Month 2022, but I will link to it anyhow. It's all on there. The information is in there. I actually did a video of myself cutting up these little pieces, and that's on there, so you can see how you did it. If you want to do it the same way as I'm doing it, you're welcome to copy me. I don't have a problem with that at all. Or, figure out your own thing. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, to DM me. I'll try to answer any questions that you may have. But I hope you'll email me to DM me to let me know that you're in and you want to do this with me. I hope so, because I would love to share this with the whole world, with everybody. So that's my little project for Earth Month. So I hope you will join me. Let's see, any other questions that I forgot to? Oh, the other thing is, please share this idea with everyone else. Yay, she's in. Yay, Anna, thank you. Please share this with everyone. If you want to send them a link to this talk, yay, the real Chloe. Yay, Chloe, thank you. If you want to share this with everyone, please do send them a link to this live today. I'm going to post it in my feed. Send them a link to my website page. The more, the merrier. Can you imagine how much fun we would have and how many strange and obscure projects we can come up with and things to stitch down? I found this in my stash. I'm not sure what this is. And I think it's too bulky for me to stitch on as is, but I'm going to take I just broke it. So there. I didn't even need scissors. So now I have this funny little thing. It looks like it could be a little person. I could stitch that down and make it into something else. I don't know. I am going to break down the rest of this and stitch it on somehow. It's fun. It's about having fun, having an experiment, and making us all aware about the problem of plastic pollution as well. So again, I hope that you will join me. I will post the link to my page on my bio, and please share. All right. Thank you. Any questions? Just DM me. Thank you for joining me here today. It was nice to see somebody's in already. That would be great. Please share. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.